Hi, my name is Reed, and I am going to show you how to thread our Wilcox & Gibbs flat stitch machine. It is a 6-thread, 4-needle top and bottom cover stitch used for working on fleeces and base layers and garments where you prefer to not have a seam allowance facing you. So it creates a flat stitch that I'll show you when we're done. Whoa. I want to jump in and say you should never rethread this machine unless you have to. It's a very complex machine, and the last thing you want to do is be changing things that work. So whenever you need to change the thread, what you want to do is pull your thread through all the way to the closest point that you can. So the way that you do that is quite simple, and I'll show you. So I'm going to change the thread, cut it right at the cone, and put my new cone on. I just got in trouble because I didn't make sure there were no snags, and the thread got caught under like that a little bit and broke. And so we're doing it again. So we want to make sure there's no snags along the way. Just get it up out of the way a little bit. We're good to go. So now I am going to pull my previously threaded piece through. And there it is. Got my little knot there, and we're all back to black. To begin, all of the threads start in the back. There's 6, and they go up to their hole, straight above them, 6 threads. And then down through the spacer bar. Again, you can see the 6 threads. Each one, let's see if we can get that, is going to come through the top, out the back, and through the front. From there, they're going to come down through this spacer bar on the top and into the tension discs. Into these 6 tension discs right here. See, the thread comes in across the back of this plate and across the drive side of the spacer plate. The drive being here on the back of the machine and through the spacer discs. From there, all the threads go in a different direction, and we'll look at those now. The needle threads exit the tension discs through this box and then begin their journey to the needles. So there's 4 discs here. We're actually a little bit unthreaded here. But they're going to go through each of these posts and then down through this lifter, which travels as the needle moves, and then they're going to travel through this holder into the needle bar and then to each respective needle. And you can see that. We'll follow the track of the upper looper, which is this thread right here. Going through its tension disc, and then there is a cam here that it goes across. This cam pulls the thread out. You can see as it rotates that it has one side higher than the other, which pulls the thread. From there, it's going to exit straight through this wall here, come out the front in this hole, and then cut across the front of the machine to a holder. Then taking a stop at this holder that all the needle threads go through before it finally reaches down to the looper. And you can see that just, oop, there we lost it. Just in there is the looper. And it's got a little hole, hard to miss. Lastly is the lower looper thread. Starting on the farthest right, it's going to go through its tension discs. It's got its own cam here where it's going to exit through the wall of the machine. There's a big hole there. It's going to go across this bar. That's a bar that helps it roll over the corner of the machinery right there. And then under this plate here, and you'll see a hole. Send it through the hole, the guide hole, and then it's going to go behind this whole ledge here. And the way to do that is to pull it behind on the left, and then use a tweezers on the right side to pull it down and kind of floss it into the back there. Lastly, it comes across on the threading there. And then under this hook into the looper, the back hole of the looper there. And you can see that it looks like a standard looper from the back side. This hole here can be very helpful for pulling the threads through once you have poked them into the needle. So stick your tweezers in this hole and pull the thread out. The last thing to do after you have threaded the machine is to see if it's working. You should always hand turn the first couple until you know that it's working. Press the presser foot down with it off a little bit to let go of the clutch and let you spin it easily. And walk it till you can see the end result that's coming out. If you look like you're getting a stitch that's about right, go ahead and fire it up. As long as it's not clogged. Letting the machine get up to speed. You can see that the machine is creating a nice stitch.